Alright, now I'm going to show you how to get this picture colored so that it shows how we use the primary colors to create secondary colors. And we know from working with the color wheel a lot this year that the primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. You can mix any combination of these colors in order to create secondary colors. So think about if you mix red and yellow, which are both primary colors, what color do they create? They create orange, which is considered a secondary color. So here's my watercolor paint that I'm using. If you don't have watercolor paint at home, remember I've included a video that shows you how to make watercolor paint using markers or dried out markers and water. It's really simple. But you get your brush wet, first dip it in water, and then you get your brush dipped in the paint, and you start putting on whichever primary color you want to start with first. I chose red. So you can get this entire object colored red. You can keep adding more paint until you get the shade of red that you like. The more water that you add on your brush, the more see-through your paint is going to turn out to be. The more pigment or the more paint that you put on, it's going to be less see-through and more bright and bold in color. These areas where they overlap might be a little bit tricky, so just make sure you're paying extra good attention when you get to those parts. I've colored the entire object in red, even the parts that overlap. Okay. Next, I'm going to use another primary color, which is yellow. Get your brush cleaned out. If your water gets too dirty, you can dump it out and get clean water. And with watercolor paints, you kind of have to stir around in here to get the paint nice and loosened up and to get it moist. You can use whatever size brush feels most comfortable to you. I also have some smaller brushes in case I want to use them. So I'm going to leave the overlapping part for last. First, I'm going to get the rest of this object painted in. Make sure you're being as neat as you can, staying inside the lines. If you want this yellow to be more bold, just after it dries a little bit, add another layer. If you keep putting too much wet paint and water on it, you might end up ripping a hole in it. So just make sure that you're allowing it time to dry before you put more layers on it. So now I'm going to go into overlapping here, which means I need to add yellow over the top. Yellow on my brush, and I'm just going to go over this small area where it overlaps, being careful to only go over that area and not into the red. And you can see how it's transforming into a secondary color, which is orange. So yours might not be as easy on the first try as mine. So you might have to keep adding a little more yellow or red until you get this a true color that's orange. The next and final primary color is blue. So once again, get your brush rinsed out, get it clean, water up your blue, and this, I have kind of a lot more water than blue paint on this one, so it is going to be kind of light and see-through, which I think looks cool, but if you want to make it so it's not as see-through looking, wait and put another coat on after it dries. And remember to leave your overlap area for last. Okay, now I got some blue on my brush, and I'm going to go into this overlap area. Maybe for this part of it, if you have a smaller paintbrush, that would work better for you. So where I'm overlapping the yellow and the blue, it's turning green. And you can experiment with this a little bit if you want to see if you can get it a little more of a lemon lime green. Get a little yellow on your brush and go over it with yellow. Just keep working with this overlap area until you get it the desired color that you want. Okay, it's a little bit too yellow right now, so I'm going to add a little bit more blue. And I'm not putting a lot of pressure on right now. I'm just lightly going over the top, otherwise my paper will rip. There, I think I'm happy with that color. So now we've learned yellow and blue, when mixed together, create the secondary color green. All right, so there's one secondary color that we do not have yet on this painting. We have green and orange, but is the last secondary color. Purple. So we have to think, what color can we mix with red in order to get purple? It's not yellow because we've already learned that when we mix these two, it's orange. So the combination we have to try now is blue and red. I think this one I'm going to make just a light blue. Rinse my brush out. Maybe get my small brush, get some blue on there, and do the overlapping section. Starting to turn a shade of violet, but I would like it to be a little more violet than it is. So I'm going to just add a little bit more of my red over the top. Very lightly, I'm barely putting any pressure right now. Pretty red violet. And now that I've seen how dark it's turned right there, I'm thinking maybe I want to go ahead and add another layer of blue on top. And this is already dried pretty well, and I just painted it. Yeah, that looks really cool. Voila, there you have it. Thanks for watching, everybody. I can't wait to see your artwork. If you want, you can write your name on it somewhere, maybe down below here. And if you wanted, you could put a piece of colored construction paper on the back, so it would have a little bit of a border surrounding it. And you could hang it up on your wall or on your fridge. If you have any questions, please email me or message me on Schoology. My email is samantha_cruz@cps.k12.mn.us. I look forward to seeing your artwork.